Tasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurmilitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I've got, can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, Maharaj, we can hear you, Maharaj.
Okay, now I've got a list of more devotees' names, so I'm going to be calling on some devotees and inviting them to speak, because I want everyone to be paying attention. And I don't know I can't see you, so just by random, I'm going to call you. So you all have to be ready. Understand? Everyone?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah, okay. Okay, we'll ask Keshava Damodar Prabhu. Is he there?
Yes, he is there. Keshava Prabhu, you can unmute yourself, Prabhu.
Keshava Damodar.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Were you at the class yesterday?
Halfway Maharaj.
Yesterday. Did you come to the class yesterday?
Yes, halfway Maharaj.
Halfway, huh? Okay. So,
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
yes, I'm here. Just 1 minute. So, yesterday we spoke about a number of things. Do you remember anything we spoke about yesterday, Keshava Prabhu? We were speaking from the first mantra.
Can't remember Maharaj.
No, you don't remember anything we spoke about yesterday? No? Have you learned the first mantra yet? Have you memorized it yet?
Not
Hare
yet
Krishna.
Maharaj.
Not yet, no? Okay. Okay, so we'll ask
Hare
somebody
Krishna
else.
Maharaj. Not yet Maharaj.
Okay. Okay, I'll ask one of the ladies. Who is Gandharvika Radharani? Is she here?
No, Maharaj, she's not here, Maharaj.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Sorry, maybe you have a different name.
Oh, no,
Okay,
I'm not and I are sharing it. That's fine.
Oh, you're sharing it, okay, because you're talking for Shankara. Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
Gandharvika.
what's your question, Maharaj?
Yeah, I want you to tell me something we talked about yesterday in the class. What do you remember? Anything?
We spoke about para-prakriti, apara-prakriti. So para-prakriti is conscious. All living entities, the superior prakriti. Apara-prakriti, the Lord's inferior material energy. So it's not conscious, like earth, water, fire, air, ether, inanimate.
Oh, very good. Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you, Maharaj.
We spoke about these two energies, the para prakriti and the apara prakriti. the energies of Lord Krishna, right? And as Gandharvika Radharani Mataji said, the Paraprakriti is the superior because it's conscious. All living entities are the superior Prakriti. And the dull matter is inert. Dull matter, the table, the chair, the house is all inferior Prakriti. Okay, so we'll ask Sakyarasa Devi Dasi, since her name's come up on the screen here. I'll ask Sakyarasa Mataji.
Hare
Can
Krishna
you
Maharaj.
tell us something else? Can you tell us something else we spoke about yesterday? Do you remember?
Maharaj was explaining about taking more than our quota. It's just like fighting
Oh, yeah.
stolen brain.
Right, yeah, very good, yes. This was described in the first mantra of the Śrī Īśopaniṣad.
And Maharaj gave
Dena,
the
yes,
example of communists and capitalists.
the communist and the capitalist, yeah. What are they doing?
Conflict between the political parties,
Yeah,
and everything
they're fighting.
belongs to Krishna. Everything is property of Krishna. Human
what do we-
beings are supposed to fight for it.
What do we call that philosophy? That everything belongs to Krishna.
Ishavashyam.
Isavashyam, yes. Or we could call it, it's a type of communism, right?
Yes.
Go with the communism.
Bhagavad communism.
Bhagavad communism. Oh, okay, yes. Or simply spiritual communism.
Spiritual communism.
Yeah, spiritual communism, Bhagavad communism, yes. Or the Ishyavasya spirit, right? Ishyavasya. I will ask somebody else. Natini Mataji is there?
Yes, Maharaj.
Do you remember what is the meaning of Ishyavasya?
Isha means the Lord. Avashya means controlled by the Lord. Ishavasya means controlled by the Lord.
Okay, Isha means God, the Supreme Lord, and Avashya means controlled or owned by the Lord. So everything is controlled and owned by the Lord, right? So we have a right to take whatever we want, right? Nantini, are you still there?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah. So I have a question for you.
Yes, Maharaj.
So is it all right for us to just be a vegetarian?
No.
What's being a vegetarian?
Even vegetarian diet has some sins. So Krishna says we have to offer everything to Krishna and take it as master, prasadam or mercy.
Yes. Everything belongs to Krishna. So therefore, before we take our food, we have to first of all offer it to Krishna because it's all his. So we have to respect his right as the proprietor. Everything belongs to him. That is the mood of Ishyavasya, right? That we're recognizing God, we're putting God as the proprietor, that everything belongs to him. So before we eat food, we offer it to Krishna. Is there anything else we're supposed to do in order to follow this mood of Ishyavasya? Is that enough? Just to offer our food? Do we have to do anything else?
We only have to take what is necessary for us.
Okay. We have to take what is necessary for us. We should take. How will I know? Yeah. You know, we may say, well, I need more, I need more. It's a little difficult, right? To know how much we should have, because often people say, no, I don't have enough, I need more. I'll ask some men some questions. What about Rasika Radha Krishna Prabhu? Is he there? Rasika Radha Krishna? Is there a Prabhu there? No answer.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I think Prabhu is not here, Maharaj.
He's not here. Is somebody taking the register? You know, if people don't come to the classes, they shouldn't get to take the exam. They have to come for the classes.
Yes, Maharaj, we are taking the 80% attendance, Maharaj.
Okay. What about Surya Chaitanya Das?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, regarding the quota one should get required, Maharaj said we must be, that our mind and senses must be satisfied. So that shows that that's our fulfill our quota. And if it go beyond that, it is we are cheating people and we are going like greediness, and we tend to do cheating people and lying to acquire more things. And that's
well,
the right attitude now.
You know, somebody may say, you know, I don't feel satisfied unless I eat meat. I don't feel satisfied unless I get some alcohol. People may say like that. If you say we should feel satisfied, we should just, you know, that's what we need. We should feel satisfied. Then we'll find a lot of people do a lot of bad things.
Yes, Maharaj.
So what should be the standard actually?
Standard, same like we have to follow the Isavasya principle, Maharaj. That means everything belongs to God. So we know what is our quota, and we have to we have to, control our senses and mind so that we don't involve in too many, greedy things and to hankering for more things.
Yeah, that's true, but there should be also some standard, just like in a government. The government make laws.
Yes.
And we have to follow the laws.
Yes, Maharaj.
Right? When Malaysia, when they had the mass control or movement control order, no moving around, then it was like that. It was restricted moving. So in the same way, there's a universal government. We also have to follow the laws of the universal government. It's not that we can just say, well, whatever I need, I should have. You know, I need this to feel satisfied. There's laws, there's particular laws we have to follow. So we have to be honest, we have to be truthful, we have to follow the laws of the Supreme. We say the Supreme Lord is like the Father. Just like Father has children and he expects the children to follow his instructions. And when the children follow the instructions of the Father is happy to maintain the children. And he will look after the children, he will see they get good education and everything. Maybe he even arranges a marriage for the children. He likes to take care of them. It says, he knows that these are my children, I have some responsibility for them. So, the same way, we are all like the children of God. We are all his children. and he's maintaining us. But we have to also follow his instructions. And his instructions are in scriptures, books like Bhagavad Gita, learn things like from there. Learn, you know, we don't eat meat, fish, and eggs. We have to follow the principles, cleanliness, mercy, austerity, truthfulness, these kind of things. So the standard for living is set for us by the information from the scriptures. Is it clear?
Yes, Maharaj.
Any arguments, any questions about this? We spoke about para and apara prakriti. We spoke about Bhagavata communism. And we also spoke about this Ishyavashya principle. So we saw in the life of Prabhupada how Prabhupada lived, how Prabhupada practiced this kind of principles. It's not that Prabhupada was just telling us to do something and he didn't do it himself. Prabhupada himself was very careful with everything. Did not waste anything. Because he saw everything as Krishna's property. One morning, we were on a walk with Prabhupada and he could see there was one house at the side of the road and he saw there was a tap and the water was running. There was no one there, but the water was running everywhere. So Prabhupada told the devotee, go and turn that tap off. Don't let them waste the water. Prabhupada thought like that, you see. He didn't like to see anything wasted, even the water. Told the devotee, you don't just run, no purpose. That's a waste. Similarly, if we were in the room and we went out of the room and if we left the lights on and the fans running, Prabhupada would be very upset. Why you're wasting Krishna's energy? You leave the lights on and the fans running. It's not good. He said, this is Krishna's property. You cannot just simply waste everything. So this is the Ishyavashya spirit, taking care of everything. Do we still have to work? Sometimes people think, you know, I'm a devotee now, I don't need to work, right? Is that Krishna's teachings? We will ask some devotee, what about, who's this Taruni Champakalata? Is she there? Taruni Champakalata? No?
No, Maharaj. Mataji is not.
What about Kripamurti Gauranga? Kripamurti Gauranga is there?
Not here as
Hare
well,
Krishna.
Maharaj.
Oh my goodness. A lot of people not here. Okay, we've got some more names here. What about this one? Kundalata Radhadasi.
Yes, Mara, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, we must work.
You have a job yourself? Are you working?
Yes, Maharaj.
Oh, you're a working woman, huh? So, what did Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna?
Do your duty. That is a very important. That's a prescribed duty. You have to do it.
Right.
And
Thank you.
at the same time, you have to serve Krishna.
Ah, right. Yes. Krishna told Arjuna, remember me and fight. Right? Krishna is telling Arjuna. He didn't tell Arjuna, okay, Arjuna, you're my devotee. You can sit back. I will do everything. No, Krishna told Arjuna, you have to do it. I want you to go and fight. So sometimes people come to Krishna consciousness. They think, oh, work is Maya. I'm not going to work anymore. I will just be a devotee. I will just chant Hare Krishna. That's not the philosophy. And similarly, even when Prabhupada first came to America, when people became devotees, they thought they'd give up their job. And Prabhupada would say, no. He said, you should keep working. He said, you have to pay the rent for the temple. We need your salary to pay the rent for the temple. You have to keep working. So, yeah, Krishna consciousness philosophy is not for making people idle, to sit back and do nothing. But we should work, we should be more active, but in the service of Krishna. That's the difference. Working for Krishna, right? We're not working for our own sense gratification. We're working for the pleasure of Krishna. So, yeah, we want people to understand that Krishna is the proprietor. Everything belongs to him. Prabhupada said, if people get pleasure from material things, he said, that's like the happiness of a thief. Because actually it's all Krishna's property. Right? You get a nice house, you say, no,
Yes.
it's our house, we built it. But where do we get the wood from? Where do we get all the materials? Where does it all come from? It comes from the earth. It comes from the planet. It's all given to us by nature. But whose property is it? It's all Krishna's property. So if we're thinking, this is mine, this is just like the thief. He's taken something. It's not actually his. Nothing is ours. So we can see material life, how people are so much in illusion. Everyone's thinking, this is mine. This belongs to me. So similarly in family life, we have this problem. We think this is my family. But it's not really ours. It's given to us by the grace of Krishna. So we should keep Krishna in the center in the family. This is the point. So Prabhupada he followed this Ishavas spirit very carefully. He would always offer his food to Krishna, and he was always very careful with everything. You know, even when he would get a letter, he would take the envelope and he would open up the envelope and then he would write on the inside of the envelope. He would use the envelope for writing paper. He wouldn't like to waste anything. He was very careful. And he was very careful also when he goes shopping to get the good price. He would say, when the devotees would go shopping, he would call them Dam Cheap Baba. Dam Cheap Baba. They would go to the market and they would purchase things in the market in Vrindavan, and they would think, oh, it's so cheap. But when they would tell Prabhupada the price, Prabhupada would be upset. He said, "What? It's not. You paid so much more. It's not so. It's not supposed to be so expensive. They have cheated you." But the devotee is so foolish. He's thinking, "Oh, very cheap." But actually, he paid twice the price than what it should be. So Prabhupada was very careful with Krishna's money and with Krishna's temples to keep the temple clean. He told us every day we have to wash it with water. He said, marble, you can polish it with water. You just put some water on it every day and polish it. And this way it will gradually shine. He said, you don't have to have a machine, you don't have to put polish, you just put some water on it and just dry it and wipe it and gradually it will shine. So Prabhupada wanted us to take care of everything nicely. One time there was a tree growing at the side of the temple and devotee cut the tree because it was growing on, it was coming onto the building. And Prabhupada was very upset. He said, you will suffer for this. He said, this tree, he said, this is a living entity. Krishna is part and parcel of Krishna, and you've cut him. He said, this is not good. This is an offense. So Prabhupada was so concerned for the trees, for the children, took care of all the children, how we have to treat the children. He told the parents, you cannot beat them. He wouldn't allow the parents to beat the children. He said, that's not the way to treat them. He said, you have to take care of them and love them, not beat them. So Ishavasya spirit is like that. Working for Krishna and seeing everything in relation to Krishna. The children, the home, the temple, everything. So Prabhupada taught us how to be in that mood, Ishyavasya, the Ishyavasya mood. Keep seeing everything in relation to Krishna. All right? Any more questions? Any other question from anyone? I got one question actually. Somebody wrote to me on the internet. They were listening to the class and they were asking that, how can we get strength to preach to non-devotees about the holy name? He said, because preaching to non-devotees, I feel myself to be very contaminated when just meeting the non-devotees, coming to them, and they, you know, they're not devotees, it's contaminating me, but I want to preach to them about the holy name. So how to do it? So you have to be very careful in preaching about the holy name to non-devotees. What we should be doing is helping them to develop faith in the holy name. And you do that by kirtan, just simply having kirtan and prasadam. You want to create their faith. You don't want to preach too much about the holy name because they don't have any faith. And if we preach to them about the holy name, then that's an offense. It's an offense. It's the 9th offense to instruct the holy name to faithless persons. So you have to be very careful how you deal with non-devotees. You want to help them develop faith in the holy name. And you can do that by giving them nice prasadam and letting them join in kirtan, getting them to join in the kirtan with you. Okay? Another person had a question. They wanted this, they felt that they had very good results in preaching, and they wanted to know how is it we managed to get such good results in our preaching work? Was it due to our hearing and chanting, or is it simply the blessing of the super soul? Well, a devotee considers everything, the results of all their activities, a devotee considers it to be the mercy of Krishna. if we're successful, we give the credit to Krishna and Guru. We don't consider ourselves to be the doer. If we get bad results, then it's our fault. But if we get good results, that's the mercy of Krishna and Guru. Just like the one man, there was one brahmachari used to cook for the devotees. He was a godbrother of Prabhupada, and he used to cook for all the devotees. And the devotees would all say to him, "Oh, your cooking is so good." But he would say, "If it tastes good, thank Krishna. And if it's not good, blame me." So this should be our mood in our activities. If we get good results, give the credit to Krishna and Guru. And if it's not good, it's our fault. Okay? So we're going to go ahead now. We have to go on to the mantra 2 and 3 tonight. We want to cover. Can everybody see?
Yes,
Have you all
Maharaj.
got your books, or you can see my screen?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay.
We can see your
Somebody,
screen,
okay. So we're going to invite someone to chant the mantra for us. We will have, what about Krishna Braja Sundar Prabhu? Is he here? Krishna Braja Sundar? No?
No, Maharaj, Prabhu is not here.
What about Madhuri Tosi? Is she here?
Yes, Maharaj, I'm here.
Oh, very good. Maraji, can you read the Sanskrit for us?
Yeah, try, Maharaj.
Read
Kurvan
one line at a time. We will repeat.
Kurvan evaha karmani.
Kurvane vaha karmani.
Jiji visekshatam samaha. Evam tvai nanyate tosti. Na karma lipyate nare.
Okay, now read the translation.
One may aspire to live for hundreds of years if he continuously goes on working in. If he continuously goes on working in that way, for that sort of work will not bind him to the law of karma. There is no alternative to this way for men.
Okay, can you read a little of the purport?
You want me to read, Maharaj?
Yeah, just a little. Read the first paragraph.
Okay, sure. No one wants to die. Everyone wants to live as long as he can drag on. This tendency is visible not only individually, but also collectively in the community, society, and nation. This is a hard struggle for life by all kinds of living entities, and the Vedas say that this is quite natural. The living being is eternal by nature, but due to his bondage in material existence, he has to change his body over and over. This process is called transmigration of the soul, or karma bandhana, bondage by one's work. The living entity has to work for his livelihood because that is the law of material nature. And if he does not act according to his prescribed duties, he transgresses the law of nature and binds himself more and more to the cycle of birth and death in the many species of life.
Okay, thank you. Is that Madhuri Tosi Maraji? Can I just ask you one question now?
Yes,
Yeah, you see the translation, it says, one may aspire to live for hundreds of years. He continuously goes on working in that way. What way are they talking about?
entangled in material life?
That way, it's referring to the previous verse. What was described in the first mantra?
Previous one. Thinking that everything belongs to him, you know, they do not relate everything to Krishna. That.
Well, if we want to live for hundreds of years, what do we have to do? Do we have to think everything belongs to us?
We must relate our life to Krishna, relate everything to Krishna, and
that's right.
Render service to Krishna.
Yeah, what's being said, working in that way, they're talking about the Īśopaniṣad way, working in the understanding that everything belongs to Krishna. When we work in that way, then we can live for hundreds of years, because there's no karma. That sort of work will not bind him to the law of karma. So when there's no karma, then you can live a long time. We may not want to live a long time, but it's all karma, really. It's all karma. People have this karma which causes them short life or long life. It's their karma. So when we live according to God's plan, the Īśopaniṣad spirit, that everything is His, then you can live a long time. Okay? Thank you very much, Madhuri Tulsi. We will ask another devotee to read the next paragraph, an important paragraph. Who would like to read for us? Keshava Damodar Prabhu, please read.
Keshav Damodar Prabhu, you can unmute yourself and you can read. Maharaj, Prabhu is not responding.
Okay, so we have to ask somebody else to read. Yeah. What about Hema Champakalata?
Yes, Maharaj, I'm here, Maharaj.
You could read this for us, please, Mataji.
Other life forms are also subject to the cycle of birth and death. But when the living entity attains a human life, he gets a chance to get free from the law of karma. Karma, akarma, and vikarma are very clearly described in Bhagavad Gita. Actions which are performed in terms of one's prescribed duties, as mentioned in the revealed scriptures, are called karma. Actions which free one from the cycle of birth and death are called akarma. And actions which are performed by the misuse of one's freedom and which directs one to the lower life forms are called vikarma. Of these three types of action, that which frees one from the bondage to karma is preferred by the intelligent man. Ordinary men wish to perform.
Okay, thank you. Just a minute. So there are three kinds of karma. There's karma, vikarma, and akarma. So which one do we want as devotees?
Akarma.
Karma. Akarma.
Okay. How many people say karma? How many people say karma? Raise your hands. Some people. How many people say akarma?
Me, Maharaj.
Akarma.
How many?
Akarma.
Akarma. Okay.
Akarma.
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 So devotees want to do akarma, right?
Yes.
So how is it described here? Akarma. What do we have to do? maybe we shouldn't do anything. We should just sit and do nothing, right? Is that akarma?
No.
No, no.
So what is akarma?
Karma, there is no bondage, Maharaj.
Devotional
Okay.
service.
Yes, we have to do devotional service. Described here, actions that free one from the cycle of birth and death. So that is devotional service. What about vikarma? What's that? What activities are vikarma?
Sinful activities.
Sinful activities.
Such as what?
Sinful activities. Heinous activities.
Tell me, what are they? What is sinful?
To go against the four regulative principles.
I want to know what they are. You have to tell me. Don't just tell me these vague things. Four principles.
Meat eating.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Illicit sex.
Okay. Yes. Yes. No, vikarma.
Intoxication.
Yes, thank you. This is vikarma. Right. So of the three types of action, that which frees one from the bondage of karma is preferred by intelligent men, meaning the devotees. They will prefer to get free from the bondage of karma, because karma is a bondage, keeps us in material world. We want to get free of it. So how to do it? Akarma. Akarma means devotional service, doing service for Krishna. Read a bit more, Mataji.
Yes, Maharaj. Ordinary men wish to perform good works in order to be recognized and achieve some higher status of life in this world or in heaven. But more advanced men want to be free altogether from the actions and reactions of work. Intelligent men well know that both good and bad works equally bind one to the material miseries. Consequently, they seek that work which will free them from the reactions of both good and bad work. The instructions of Śrī Īśopaniṣad are more elaborately explained in Bhagavad Gita, sometimes called Gītopanishad, the cream of all the Upanishads. In Bhagavad Gita, the personality of Godhead says that one cannot attain the state of Naiskarma or Akarma without executing the prescribed duties mentioned in Vedic literatures. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 9, Text 16. The Vedas can regulate the working energy of a human being in such a way that one can gradually...
Mataji, that was wrong. It's Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verses 9 to 16, not Canto 3.
Okay, sorry, Maharaj. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, text 9 to 16. The Vedas can regulate the working energy of a human being in such a way that one can gradually realize the authority of the Supreme Being. When one realizes the authority of the personality of Godhead, it is to be understood that he has attained the stage of positive knowledge. On this purified stage, the modes of nature, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance, cannot act, and one is unable to work on the basis of nice karma. Such work does not bind one to the cycle of birth and death.
Okay, thank you very much. Very nice reading. Thank you very much. Now, okay, so Prabhupada is describing the benefit of this knowledge, that we can come to this stage, positive knowledge. Some people want to enjoy good karma. They do good karma. Where do they want to go? They want to go to heaven. They want to enjoy material opulence. They want long life, but it keeps them in the material world. It's all temporary. You go to heaven, you can only stay there for some time and then you come back. So the more intelligent people want to get free of karma altogether and go out of the material world beyond birth and death, to go to the kingdom, the spiritual world, the kingdom of God, right? So thank you very much. What about Gandharvika Radharani Mataji? Can you read for us?
So Maharaj, okay, so factually, no one has to do anything more than render devotional service to the Lord. However, in the lower stages of life, one cannot immediately adopt the activities of devotional service, nor can one completely stop fruitive work. A conditioned soul is accustomed to working for sense gratification for his own selfish interest, immediate or extended. An ordinary man works for his own sense enjoyment, and when this principle of sense enjoyment is extended to include his society, nation, or humanity in general, it assumes various attractive names such as altruism, socialism, communism, nationalism, and humanitarianism. These isms are certainly very attractive forms of karma bandhana, karmic bondage. But the Vedic instruction of Śrī Īśopaniṣad is that if one actually wants to live for any of the above isms, he should make them God-centered. There is no harm in becoming a family man, or an altruist, a socialist, a communist, a nationalist, or a humanitarian, provided that one executes his activities in relation to Isavasya, the God-centered conception.
Thank
In
you very
Bhagavad,
much. Very, yeah. So Prabhupada is explaining, you can be all of these things. You can be a communist if you want, but it should be God-centered. You can be a family man. We have so many family men. They can also be in Krishna consciousness. You may be a nationalist. You work for the government, promote the government, no harm. But with God in the center, that's the important thing. Okay. So, someone else would like to read Bhagavad Gita 240?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare
Yes.
Krishna Maharaj. Yeah, this is Kesavan Maharaj. Kesava Damodara Das. I would like to read Maharaj.
Okay.
In the Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, text 40, Lord Krishna states that God-centered activities are so valuable that just a few of them can save a person from the greatest danger. The greatest danger of life is the danger of gliding down again into the evolutionary cycle of birth and death among the 8.4 million species. If somehow or other a man misses the spiritual opportunity afforded by his human form of life and falls down again into the evolutionary cycle, he must be considered most unfortunate. Due to his defective senses, a foolish man cannot see that this is happening. Consequently, Śrī Īśopaniṣad advises us to exert our energy in the spirit of Ishvarasya. Being so engaged, we may wish to live for many, many years. Otherwise, a long life in itself has no value. A tree lives for hundreds and hundreds of years, but there is no point in living a long time like trees, or breathing like below, or begetting children like hogs and dogs, or eating like camels. A humble, God-centered life is more valuable than a colossal hogs of a life dedicated to godless altruism or socialism.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada is pointing out, goal of life is not just to have a long life. Prabhupada said, Lord Chaitanya was in this world for only 48 years. Shankaracharya was in this world only 32 years, but they made great contributions. So it's not just a long life. Better a moment of full consciousness than a long life like the tree, right? So these are some important points to remember. What about, is Tanosha Sevalingam here?
Yes, Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah, would you like to read for us, please, Mataji?
Yes, Maharaj. When altruistic activities are executed in the spirit of Śrī Īśopaniṣad, they become a form of karma yoga. Such activities are recommended in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18.5 and chapter 18 until chapter 18.9. For they guarantee their executor protection from the danger of sliding down into the evolutionary process of birth and death. Even though such God-centered activities may be half finished, they are still good for the executor because they will guarantee him a human form in his next birth. In this way, one can have another chance to improve his position on the path of liberation.
Yeah. So Prabhupada is describing how we can have another chance, guaranteed a human birth. You do some good work in the spirit of Īśopaniṣad. In other words, recognizing God as the proprietor. It's like karma yoga. It's not bhakti yoga, but karma yoga. And so it guarantees him, at least he won't become an animal in the next life. At least he'll come back in a human body and he will have a chance to continue. Please go ahead, Mataji, read more.
How one can execute God-centered activities is elaborately explained in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Srila Rupa Goswami. We have rendered this book into English as the Nectar of Devotion. We recommended this valuable book to all who are interested in performing their activities in the spirit of Śrī Īśopaniṣad.
Thank you very much. Very nice. Okay, we'll go on to mantra number 3. Who would like to read the Sanskrit for us? Who's not? Who have we got? Some names here. Krishna. Krishna Braja Sundar, is he here? What about Intrani Rangaswamy?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes. Can you read Mataji? Would you like to chant this verse for us, one line at a time?
Asurya nama te loka.
Asurya nama te loka.
Athena tamasa vrta. Tamaste priti abhigachanti.
Namaste Pritya Gabhigachanti
Eke chatmahano jana.
Eke chatmahamo jana.
And then translation?
The killer of the soul, whoever he may be, must enter into the planets known as the worlds of the faithless, full of darkness and ignorance.
Okay.
Purport.
Everyone understand the continuity. Let's look at that. Think about the continuity, the connection between the previous verse and the first verse. Right? The first verse was describing how everything belongs to God and we should take our quota. Then the second verse was describing that when you do like that, when we follow just take our quota and we recognize God as the proprietor, then you can live for hundreds of years. Now this verse is describing about those people who don't recognize Krishna as the proprietor. These people, they're described as the killer of the soul. Right? They don't have any faith in God or the soul. They want to kill the soul. So where do they go? They go into the planets of the faithless, full of darkness and ignorance. In other words, they go down into the hellish planets. So this is the result. So the first 3 verses, you can see that relationship, the continuity. Okay, Mataji, please continue reading. Intrani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I'm here.
Can
Human life is distinguished from animal life due to its heavy responsibilities. Those who are cognizant of these responsibilities and who work in that spirit are called suras, godly persons. And those who are neglectful of these responsibilities or who have no information of them are called asuras, demons. Throughout the universe, there are only these 2 types of human beings. In the, I don't know how to pronounce that, in the RG Veda, it is stated.
In the Rig Veda.
In the Rig Veda, it is stated that the suras always aim at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Vishnu and act accordingly. Their ways are as illuminated as the path of the sun.
Thank you very much. Very nice. Please note, Prabhupada is saying there are only these 2 types of human beings. Only 2. Sometimes we read the Bhagavad Gita and people, you tell people either you're a asura or you're an asura. Either you're a devotee or you're a demon. There's only the 2 kinds of people. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, the divine and the demoniac nature, right? There's these 2 kinds of people are described. So here also, text 2 was describing the devotee. Now text 3 is describing the demon, or the sura and the asura. There's only 2. Sometimes people get a bit upset. They say, well, I may not be very godly, but I'm not a demon. They don't like to be called a demon. And so anyway, Krishna is quite clear about it. And Prabhupada says also, there's only 2 kinds of people. Either you're the devotee or you're the demon. No, we may not be big demons, but little demons. We're not very big devotees. We're just little devotees. And so also little demons. But only 2 kinds. And this is from Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures also. Okay. So we want somebody else to read some more for us. Who's not read yet? Malini Shanti, you can read a little for us, please.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Intelligent human beings must always remember that the soul obtains a human form after an evolution of many millions of years in the cycle of transfiguration. The material world is sometimes compared to an ocean, and the human body is compared to a solid boat designed especially to cross this ocean. The Vedic scriptures and the acharyas or saintly teachers are compared to expert boatmen, and the facilities of the human body are compared to favorable breezes that help the boat ply smoothly to its desired destination. If with all these facilities, a human being does not fully utilize his life for self-realization, he must be considered an Atmaha, a killer of the soul. Śrī Īśopaniṣad warns in clear terms that the killer of the soul is destined to enter into the darkest region of ignorance, to suffer perpetually.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mataji. Some important points here. Prabhupada mentions about Atmaha, a killer of the soul. Now, of course, we will ask, I thought the soul could not be killed, because in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, for the soul, there's no birth and there's no death. And Lord Krishna also said the soul cannot be cut by any weapon, burned by fire, moistened by water, withered by the wind. So how is it possible that this person is considered a killer of the soul? Would someone like to answer this? What do you say, Malini Shanti? How can he be a killer of the soul?
If we don't follow the that Krishna is the controller of everything. If we don't follow that and we do according to our own this one, then we become the killer of soul.
Yes, if we go against the revealed scriptures, if we don't take the opportunity to become self-realized and to understand God, if we don't make proper use of the human body for this purpose, then that is like killing the soul. If we're only thinking about sense gratification, and we have no concern to think about understanding ourselves as a soul and our relationship with the Supreme Lord, then we're just killing the soul, because we're neglecting the actual need or the desire of the soul, because the soul is a part of the Supreme Soul, and human life is an opportunity to connect again with God. Human life is very important, because it's only in the human form of life that we can inquire, that we can understand these things. The animals, they can only eat and sleep and mate and defend. But human life is meant to be more than the animal. Human life has intelligence, and we are meant to inquire and to understand more about our spiritual nature. So Prabhupada gives an example here. He says, material world is like the ocean. The whole material world, we have to cross that material ocean, that ocean of material existence. So how to cross the ocean? You have to cross the ocean, you should have a boat. So the human body is compared to the boat. Prabhupada said a solid boat designed especially to cross this ocean. You want to cross the ocean, it's a long way to cross the ocean. Not easy, you need a good strong boat. Huh? Hare Krishna?
No, Maharaj, just an interruption, Maharaj.
Okay, is everything okay?
Yes, Maharaj, it's fine.
Okay, so we're saying the human body, Prabhupada gives this very important example, this analogy, that the human body is like a boat. But if you have a boat, you need a good boatman also. You need to have experienced sailors, people who know, because you're crossing the ocean. Sometimes there'll be big waves, sometimes there'll be a storm. You have to have a good boatman on the ship, right? So Prabhupada compares the scriptures and the acharyas, the teachers, they're like the boatman, the expert boatman. Right? Sadhu, Shastra, and Guru, they're like the expert boatman. And then you're going on the sea, there should be also a good breeze to help you to cross the ocean. If there's no breeze at all, then maybe you get stuck for a long time in the ocean. So he said that the facilities of the human body are compared to the favorable breeze that help the boat to ply smoothly to its destination. So this is an important example. We want to remember these kind of things when they come up. The human body is the boat, and the teachers and the scriptures are like the boatman, and the facilities of the human body are the breeze. Facilities of the human body means like the intelligence to understand the scriptures and the intelligence to inquire, and the facilities to do things like hearing and chanting, remembering, offering prayers, all of these things, worshipping the deities and so on. All of these different facilities, they're like the breeze. They help the boat to cross the ocean. So if we don't use these facilities, then we are Atmaha, killer of the soul. We've not taken advantage of the soul. We've not taken advantage of the human life. So it's very foolish. We'll go ahead, read the next paragraph. Is Patita Pavan Chaitanya Prabhu here?
Yes, Maharaj.
You'd like to read, Prabhu?
Yes, Maharaj. There are swine, dogs, camels, asses, etc., whose economic necessities are just as important to them as ours are to us. But the economic problems of these animals are solved only under nasty and unpleasant conditions. The human being is given all facilities for a comfortable life by the laws of nature, because the human form of life is more important and valuable than animal life. Why is man given a better life than that of the swine and other animals? Why is a highly placed government servant given better facilities than those of an ordinary clerk? The answer is that a highly placed officer has to discharge duties of a higher nature. Similarly, the duties human beings have to perform are higher than those of animals, who are always engaged in simply feeding their hungry stomachs. Yet, the modern soul-killing civilization has only increased the problems of the hungry stomach. When we approach a polished animal in the form of a modern civilized man and ask him to take interest in self-realization, he will say that he simply wants to work to satisfy his stomach, and that there is no need of self-realization for a hungry man. The laws of nature are so cruel, however, that despite his denunciation of the need for self-realization and his eagerness to work hard to fill his stomach, he is always threatened by unemployment.
Oh my goodness, we can see how true that is today, right? So many people now are unemployed because of this virus and because of the lockdown. So many people have no work. Many people have gone to the Middle East. They have to come back. Many people from India were working there in the Middle East. They're all waiting to come back. So many people were there in Thailand. They came to Phuket and Krabi, these places working, came from Burma. They all had to go back. No work. There's no work there now. There's many hotels have all closed down because there's no tourism anymore. And so this is the nature, material world, you see. The laws of nature are so cruel. Despite we're so eager to fill the stomach, but with no work. There's no work. So many people in that situation. They were all trying to make more money and enjoy, get more material facilities, but not now. They have to wait and see if things will build up again. Okay, so a little more to read.
We are given this human form of life not to work hard like asses, swine, and dogs, but to attain the highest perfection of life. If we do not care for self-realization, the laws of nature force us to work very hard, even though we may not want to do so. Human beings in this age have been forced to work hard like the asses and bullocks that pull carts. Some of the regions where the asuras are sent to work are revealed in this verse of Śrī Īśopaniṣad. If a man fails to discharge his duties as a human being, he is forced to transmigrate to the Ashurya planets and take birth in degraded species of life to work hard in ignorance and darkness.
So this is the condition for the asuras, because they go against the laws of God, so they're put into these planets are full of darkness and ignorance. They're put into the lower species of life because they don't care for the human body. So if their only concern is to fill the belly, they don't need the human body. They can have the animal body and just think about eating and sleeping. It's the business of the animals. Human life is a special facility for inquiry, for investigation. Yes? Go ahead, Prabhu.
In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, text 41 till 43, it is stated that a man who enters upon the path of self-realization but does not complete the process, despite having sincerely tried to realize his relationship with God, is given a chance to appear in a family of Suchi or Srimad. The word Suchi indicates a spiritually advanced Brahmana, and Srimad indicates a Vaishya, a member of the mercantile community. So the person who fails to achieve self-realization is given a better chance in his next life due to his sincere efforts in this life. If even a fallen candidate is given a chance to take birth in a respectable and noble family, one can hardly imagine the status of one who has achieved success. By simply attempting to realize God, one is guaranteed birth in a wealthy or aristocratic family. But those who do not even make an attempt, who want to be covered by illusion, who are too materialistic and too attached to material enjoyment, must enter into the darkest regions of hell, as confirmed throughout the Vedic literature. Such materialistic asuras sometimes make a show of religion, but their ultimate aim is material prosperity. The Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, text 17 and 18, rebuks such men by calling them Atma Sambhavita, meaning that they are considered great only on the strength of deception and are empowered by the votes of the ignorant and by their own material wealth. Such asuras, devoid of self-realization and knowledge of the Ishavasya, the Lord's universal proprietorship, are certain to enter into the darkest regions. The conclusion is that as human beings, we are meant not simply for solving economic problems on a tottering platform, but for solving all the problems of material life into which we have been placed by the laws of nature.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Nice. So Prabhupada was explaining here from the Bhagavad Gita about how someone may take up the process, they may not be successful, but they make a sincere effort. So the result is that the next life, they take a very good birth. They're born either in the wealthy family or in the Brahmana family, so that very quickly, again, they get the opportunity to continue. Because if Krishna describes two situations. One is practiced a short time, and Prabhupada describes that here. Prabhupada is describing it here, the Suchi and the Srimat, right? They get a good birth. Now, but if one's practiced for a long time, but still maybe not quite successful, they take birth in the family of a devotee. And then in the family of a devotee, from the beginning of their birth, immediately they get the opportunity to take up Krishna consciousness. So in this way, Prabhupada is arguing how practical it is. One should consider, we shouldn't be so anxious just for this life, just to enjoy sense gratification in this life. We should be thinking also about the future life, the next life. If we know that in the next life we're going to go to hell, we should be very worried about that. So devotee, he's confident, he's protected by Krishna. And he can go on and become Krishna conscious. But for those who are not devotees, the asuras, we don't know what is their destination going to be. The darkest regions of ignorance. Because they don't understand, they don't respect God as the proprietor. They're thinking everything in terms of the body. This is mine, belongs to me. Okay? So we've looked at these first three verses. They make up one little section, the first section of this Śrī Īśopaniṣad. The first verse was describing how God is the proprietor and everything is His, and we should only take what is our quota, don't take more. Then the second verse was describing that when we follow that principle, only taking our quota, not being greedy for more, when we live in the Ishavasya spirit, then we can live for hundreds of years even. Because there's no karma, because we've transcended karma. So we spoke about the three kinds of karma: vikarma, the sinful activities, intoxication, gambling, meat eating, illicit sex, these things. This is vikarma, very bad, very sinful. You go into the hellish planet, hellish regions, you suffer a lot. And then karma. Karma means you're following the Vedas to get good results, to enjoy pious activities. Maybe you go up to the higher planets and you enjoy long life, you get opulence, you can get big position, like that. That's karma. And then akarma is where we get free of all karma, where we simply engage in acts of devotion. We do devotional service, acts which will get us free from the wheel of birth and death. So the devotees encouraged to engage in akarmic activities. That we don't want to keep staying in this material world. Okay, then we went on to verse number 3, and we heard about the killer of the soul, who neglects the interest of the soul. And Prabhupada gave the example about the human body. Human body is like what? What's the analogy? Who remembers? Madhu Tosi Mataji. Human body is compared to what? What about Natini? Natini Mataji, do you remember? We gave the analogy. Prabhupada compared the human body.
The human body is compared to boat.
What was the example?
The human body is compared to
Hare Krishna,
boat.
Can you hear me?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Can anybody hear me?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Maharaj.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Maharaj, we can hear you, Maharaj.
Can hear Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Maharaj.
Prabhu.
Maharaj, we can hear you, Maharaj. Very clear, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Anybody there?
Yes, Maharaj, we are
Yes,
here.
Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, we can hear you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Rukmini Pati Prabhu. Can you hear me?
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj, I can hear
I
you,
can't hear
Maharaj.
anything.
I can
Maharaj,
hear you, Maharaj.
we can hear you, Maharaj.
I can hear you, Maharaj.
Aditya Pawan Prabhu, I think Maharaj have thing has happened. He left the meeting for a while, I think.
Yeah, I think Maharaj will be joining back.
Yes, he'll be joining. You just wait for him.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me now?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj, loud and clear, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, yes, Maharaj can be. Very clearly we can hear you, Maharaj.
Yes, but I couldn't hear you. I was asking questions and I couldn't hear anybody. Nantini, you can tell me, what's the example Prabhupada gives about the human body?
Human body is compared to a boat.
Yeah, it's like a boat. Why? Why do you want a boat? Where are you going?
Because we want to cross the ocean of material nature, material existence.
Okay, cross the ocean, material existence. Yes. Anybody else on the boat? We're on the boat alone?
No.
Or just me and my girlfriend, or what?
No, we have a boatman.
You have a boatman. Who's the boatman?
The acharyas.
Okay, yes.
Okay, only the acharyas?
The scriptures.
The scriptures also, yeah, okay. Maybe the spiritual master, maybe guru is also there. Okay. And how do we get across the ocean? We have a boat, we have sailors, we have a boatman. Anything else to help us cross the ocean?
We have the breeze.
With the facilities.
Okay, we have the breeze, right? Yeah, you have to have a good wind, right, to get across the ocean. So, what's a good breeze?
The breeze is compared to the facility of human body.
Okay, yes, the facility of the human body. Very good, right? This human form of life, very special. The opportunity to inquire. Vedanta Sutra says, Atato Brahma Jignasa. Now you're a human being in the human form of life. Now we can inquire about what is matter and what is spirit. What is Brahman, right? We should understand what is Brahman, what is the spirit. But if people are just in the body, they're only thinking of the body and the flesh. You know, we look at the material world and you see how people in material life are. Everything is for the body, for the flesh, for the skin, for the hair. Nobody thinks about the soul. So this is Krishna consciousness. We want to get people to think more about the soul, the need of the soul, right? Any questions? Anyone? Everyone agree? Any arguments? Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj, we can hear you, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj.
Well, I'm glad you can hear me. Okay, okay. That's very good. You can still hear me. So, what does the atheist say? What do the atheist people say? What will they say? How will they argue? Kundalata Mataji, Kundalata Radha Mataji, what will the atheist have to say? How will they argue against this? We're saying the soul. Are you a good atheist? You know, do you know any atheists? Do you know any people that they don't believe in God?
No, Maharaj.
Huh? You don't know any like that. Yogita, I'll ask you. Yogita, tell me, what's the thinking of the atheist? How will they say?
They think, Gurudev, that it's their own efforts. God has nothing to do with it. It's their good luck.
Okay.
That is what I've been told.
That's their philosophy. Everything
Yeah.
is by good luck. Everything
Yeah.
is by good luck.
Mm.
So it's all luck. Everything is just luck.
It's luck and their efforts. That's what they say.
Oh, their efforts also.
Yeah, their
So
efforts are so much that this had to happen. That is what the reply was, Gurudev.
Mhm. And atheistic people, they have, what are their feelings about life? You know?
They just feel, Gurudev,
what's going to happen at death? What do they think?
they just told me one thing, that I don't really care. My thing is now the goal of life is to enjoy life now at the present moment. What happens in the future, we'll see at that time. Now just concentrate on enjoying the life. That is it. That was the shortest reply. And that is all they want to say. They don't want to hear anything good. They just don't want to hear.
We will ask somebody else. What about Gandharvika Radharani? What do you say? What do the atheists say to you, Mataji?
The same thing like Yogita Mataji said. They just want to enjoy the now and
Atmaha.
problem for the future.
Okay, Rukmini Pati, can you be a good atheist?
Atmaha.
Tell me more. Atmaha. Well, what? They actually believe in the soul, but they kill it? What, do they actually believe in the soul? If someone's an atheist, they don't believe in the soul. They don't believe the soul. So there's no question of killing something, doesn't exist. Right? They're atheists.
Can we compare the Maya with this atheist, Maharaj?
Well, Mayavadis, they're special kind of atheists, but generally I'm talking about just materialistic atheists, you know. A Mayavadi, you know, they're special people, but generally materialists, they're the atheists. They don't believe in the soul. They only believe the body. And what's the body to them? Chemicals. So what is their thinking? How long did Nantini, how long does the atheist want to live? They want to live forever, right?
Forever? Yeah.
Yeah, they're like Hiranyakashipu. They should never die. Okay, we have to stop here. Time is up. So no class tomorrow, Saturday. We'll meet on Sunday. Sunday evening.